this is Rupali from Pali Yoga. Welcome to day 14 of your 21-day movement challenge. Today we're going to do a full body energy reset, which means we'll work through our joints first in a slightly fluid, vigorous manner, and then in long held yin poses to release all the static energy. At the end of this practice, you should feel like your whole body is buzzing and free and ready to move into the next week. You are going to need a bunch of fluffy blankets or pillows, whatever you have lying around the house, and then one cotton bed sheet or something that's not super fluffy, that'll hold its shape, and a strap or a belt, whatever you have that works like a yoga strap. See you on your mat when you've gotten all of those things together. So before we begin, I want us to take our cotton blanket, the one that's not fluffy, and hold it up long like this, and then I want us to roll it up super tight. So you start making a tight roll along its longest edge, and the reason it has to be cotton or something that's not fluffy is because I want it to keep its shape. Yeah, and then you roll it all the way to the end, something like that, right? Keep it as tight as you can, make it as tight as you can, and then leave it to your side. Yeah, we'll use it later when it's time. In the meanwhile, once you've done that, we'll take a moment here and we'll sit on our heels. Now, if that's super uncomfortable for you, feel free to use a block or even a blanket to sit on. But let's take a moment here, and then we'll begin by just simply lifting our arms up, and then start to flick your fingers like you were trying to flick off droplets of water. Yeah, so not close and open, but flick. Yeah, so start nice and slow. You'll flick your fingers just like that, with your arms lifted up and your shoulders relaxed. And yes, you'll start to feel a little warm, but then we'll pick up the pace. Okay, so we'll start to flick as fast as you can. And just breathe. Let everything get nice and warm. Let your fingers get a little worked. So let me count from 10, 9, keep flicking faster and faster, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Just let your arms drop completely. Don't do anything. Yeah, let all that circulation just come rushing back and make you feel alive in your arms. And then give your shoulders a few squeezes up and releases down here. Then when you're ready, you'll start to take it to the wrist. So just start to flick your wrists sideways. Yeah. Again, no need to control your movements. Just shake it up vigorously. Yeah, just for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then up and down. Yeah, I call this T-Rex arms. Like your short-armed T-Rexes. So let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a moment here, just kind of side to side. Super nice. And then we'll take it down to our backs. Just lay down. Oh, before we take it down to our back, we'll take our strap with us and keep it with you. Yeah, and then you'll lay down onto your back. Take a moment here. Drop your feet wide apart. Lift your tailbone, release it back down. Start to drop knees one side and then the other. Again, this is none of this needs to be a very controlled movement. Let go of control. Allow yourself just easy movement with your joints. So just in and out, knees one side and then the other. Your feet are pretty wide as the mat. And again, just kind of flop them. It's okay for your hips to move up and down too. I want you to not think too much, right, in the first part of this practice. Awesome. Take a moment here, and you'll take your strap and kind of fold it up. If you don't have a strap, if you're using a regular belt, that's totally fine. Just you don't want it to be so long that it annoys you or something. Okay, so fold it up, hold it nice and strong, yeah, and then you'll extend your feet, lift your arms overhead. Now once you lift them overhead, let your shoulders relax and pull on the strap with both hands. It's not an exact distance I want your arms to be, just enough so when you pull on the strap, you feel everything engage. Take a breath. Exhale. You lift your left leg up, and take it outside your mat. Then you'll take your right leg and place your right ankle on top of your left ankle. Already, it should start to give you a nice stretch along the right side of the body. Your right hip wants to kind of leave the ground. I want you to softly engage that right hip back down as you cross and lock your ankles. Beautiful. And then take that strap that you're holding, pull it tight, lift the head and chest, and take it a little bit over to your left. Now you've gone and extended the right side even more. And just breathe. Remember to press the right hip down and keep pulling on the strap. And then take your right leg up over to your right side. And then take your left across and lock the ankle on top. And then bring your head and chest and bring it over to your right side as you press the left hip down. Nice, long, easy stretch on the left side of the body. It can actually get pretty intense, and you can make it as intense as you want it to be. Take another breath or two. Press the left hip down. Your ankles are locked, so it gives you something to resist with. And then we'll do 2 more rounds of this a little bit faster. Bring the head and chest back to the center. Lift your left leg out to the left. Right ankle on top. Lift and reach to the left. Just for 3, 2, 1. Bring the head and chest back to the center. Take your right leg out to the right. Left ankle on top. Lift the head and reach over to your right. For 3. Arms strong. Pull on the strap. 2, 1. Last round. Bring the upper torso back to the center. Take your left out to the left. Right ankle on top. Take it to your left. And 3, 2, 1. Right out. Left ankle on top. Head and chest to the right. 3, 2, 1. And we'll come back to the center with the whole body. Take a moment for your arms. Beautiful. And then again, you'll take your arms overhead, draw the shoulders back, pull on the strap so it gives you something to resist with. And then inhale, lift the belly up. As you exhale, you'll pull the navel down and start to lift the arms up. Just the wrists come over your shoulders. And then inhale, drop them overhead, let the belly lift, back arch. As you exhale, pull the navel down, press the lower back flat, lift the arms up to the sky. And then again, inhale, lift the belly, arch the back, extend the arms. Exhale, navel in, arms to the sky. You're still pulling nice and strong on the strap, so it's all active. Again, inhale, lift the belly, arch the back, arms go overhead. Now for the next 3 rounds, you'll pull the navel in, extend the arms, and keep lifting up, all the way up. Take a moment, pull the navel back, start to roll it back. Remember, you're holding the strap pretty strong, so your shoulders are stable. And all the way back. Lift the belly, arch the back. Exhale, pull the navel down, lift the arms, come on up. Exhale, pull the navel back. Last one of these. All the way up. Very nice. Release the strap to the side. Shake out the shoulders. Give yourself a nice side to side or some sort of roll. And then you'll take it to cat-cow. So hands down under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And then inhale, open the chest, draw the shoulders back, drop the belly. And then extend that whole shape forward. As you exhale, you pull the navel up, cat shape, and then press that shape back towards your heels. Yeah. So we'll do a cat-cow. We'll also add a rocking motion forward and back. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, and press it forward. Exhale, pull the navel up, press it back. Inhale, drop the belly, arch, and extend. Exhale, pull the navel up, press it back all the way towards a child's pose, but keep your toes tucked in for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, we'll find our way to the top of the mat and stand up. I want you to soften through your knees. Yeah, take a full breath. I might turn towards you. Yeah. And then as you exhale, I want you to drop the chin down, head, shoulders, bend your knees as you start to roll forward, all the way down. Bounce it out a little here with your knees bent. And then lean into your heels, release your arms, don't lift your head, ragdoll, roll it up, take your time. Exhale, chin down, shoulders roll all the way down, finding full rounding of the spine. Lean into your heels, bend your knees, and then exhale. Roll it back. Last one. Chin down. Roll it forward all the way down. And then lean back all the way up. Right here. Inhale as you lift the arms up. And then I want the next three to be a little more vigorous. So all you have to do is separate your feet, bend your knees, inhale here. As you exhale, just softly release. Roll it up. Your knees bent, nice and deep. Inhale. Exhale, just let it go. Last one. Exhale. Take a moment here. Fingertips down, separate your feet, and we'll drop the hips down into Malasana. Yeah, you'll take, your heels are up, that's okay. Your heels are down, that's fine. If you can't balance, super easy in Malasana. Find something, maybe a block, to put your hands onto so you can do the work. Yeah, just start to take it side to side. Press hips down, lift the chest, lift one heel and then the other. It's like you're taking a sway side to side with an arc. Very nice, and then we'll drop down into our Yin postures. All right, so the first one is called the dragon. It's just a lunge or a lizard stretch as we call it in yoga. You'll take your right foot forward, and here's this part of this practice is for you to set up for yourself. So don't go by exactly how I said. I don't need a blanket under my knee, but if you do, put a nice blanket under your knee. Yeah, and then you'll stretch your left leg back, move your right foot forward. Yeah, and it's a nice deep low lunge, so you will find a way to make yourself comfortable. Find your fluffy blanket or a nice bolster or a couple of pillows. Yeah, so you can rest. Your back toes can stretch out or stay tucked in. Yeah, I want you to find a place where that's not your 100%. That's somewhat about 80% of where you can go, so you can settle into it. We'll hold it for a minute or so on each side. And you should leave yourself some space to play with it. Yeah, so exhale as you soften forward. I like coming down on my forearms because there's less stress on the shoulders. I recommend, if you can't come on down to your forearms, prop yourself up so your forearms can rest on it. So it doesn't matter how high this thing rises up, just put something there so you can release here. And then we'll hold this into a nice deep, deep low lunge. Yeah. And breathe into it. Sometimes when you go all the way into your deepest stretch right away, it's really hard to release into it because you're making yourself do it. Yeah, so if you go into 80% or so, then you can relax your body and it'll start to open softly even more. Just breathe. See what sensations come up. See what feelings, emotions come up. Notice. And then stay with your breath. If small movements allow you to go in a little deeper or get a little more comfortable, that's okay. Avoid moving just out of habit or to fidget. Very slowly start to place your hands back down. To retreat out, make sure your back toes are tucked in so you can kind of press back. Ooh. Lift your right toes up, give your hamstring a little moment. We are not actually going to stretch the hamstring for very long today, but if you feel like taking a quick forward fold here, you're welcome to do that. And then we'll move on to the other side. So drop your knee down, move your left foot forward. If you need a blanket, you have it. If you need something to bring yourself into a more comfortable dragon or lizard stretch, you'll do that. Slowly, gently melt forward into your left. Release your forearms down. Don't let the knee open out too much. That's not the pose, not this one. That it works as well. Just right now we are opening in, forward and down. All right, so again, settle in. Remember, this is not so much about how it looks or if your ego allows you to use a lot of props, or if you feel like if you use a lot of props and you're not open enough. Yeah, it all depends on what kind of practice, what intention you have today. And today is to stay a little longer so that you can release any stuck up energy. Another 5 breaths here. And then very gently, same things, hands down, Lift your left toes up for a hamstring stretch, not quite as long, but enough to give you a little release. And then release that left knee back. Take a moment and we'll switch to a pigeon prep. So again, this might be too high. If you'd like to, you can use half a blanket or a smaller blanket, and you'll take your right foot forward, right knee forward. Yep. Sit your right hip down onto the prop, whatever it is. Blocks are not very comfortable. A blanket or a pillow feels nicer, and sometimes you don't need it. But if you roll your hips forward and your right hip leaves the ground, it's time to prop it today. And again, take this one not at your max, which is the shin parallel to the edge of your mat. Take your foot back a little. Yeah. Find a place you can settle into about 80-85% of your max depth. And then we'll release it again. Maybe place another prop here. Try to make your hips even, draw the hip back. Don't be afraid to prop it up on your right side as much as you need it. And let's hold this just for a few breaths. Every time you feel yourself needing distraction for your mind, you know you have your breath to focus on. You can also find a little active engagement through the right foot, the outer edge of your right foot, and your right hip, pressing back, drawing it back on the ground, and that extra sensation should stop you from being distracted. Should bring your focus right back into your body. Another 3-4 breaths here. And then you'll slowly come on up. Take your left foot forward. Come off the blanket. I don't normally use one, but actually today it felt really nice to use a blanket. So don't be shy to prop yourself as much as you need to. It has nothing to do with how advanced your practice is. And then you'll take the blanket under your left hip if you used it under your right, or check out your left side. Sometimes your sides are different and they feel different, and they should be treated as such. So you'll take your left hip, move your left foot forward, flex the toes back. Yeah, don't go at your max. Find a nice 80% stretch. Roll the right hip forward and down. And then find a place you want to settle into. Take nice deep breaths through the nose. Open your mouth gently and exhale. Press through the outer edge of your left foot. Draw the left hip back in space. Another 3-4 breaths, nice and long. Remember, you're not just stretching the muscles, you're actually releasing the joints and making space for free flow of energy. So go past what you generally think of what you stretch here. Go deeper. And then we'll come back up. To release this, you'll take the blanket out to the side, drop your feet down, nice and wide, hands down behind you, Move my blanket. And then you'll take the same windshield wipers we did lying down. Yeah, just kind of flop your knees side to side. Now for the last move for today, I want us to release the calves. Now this can get pretty intense, and I want you to test it out. So take that little tight roll of blanket or towel, whatever you used, and then you'll take that, hold it tight, and then place it behind your knees. So lean forward, slide it all the way as high as you can get, and then you'll sit back down. If you rolled it nice and tight, yeah, it's pretty intense right away. Now if it gets too intense, I want you to lean forward, take it off, take the weight off a little bit, yeah, and then start to press back as much as you can. The other thing you can do is you can release the roll to a little less of the size, and that should work. Yeah. If you can just sit and take 5 breaths with me, then let's do that. Yeah. Remember, it's intense for everyone, almost everyone. I don't know anyone who sits like this with a nice deep stretch and doesn't feel it. So another 3 breaths. As much weight as you can drop, as much as you can take without feeling stressed. Yeah, no panic, no stress. Another 2 breaths. And 1. And then slowly lean forward. We'll move that same roll towards the center of your calves and sit back down. Now this is slightly easier, but not for everyone. Especially if you work out a lot, or you cycle, or you run, you have tight calves. Strong but tight also sometimes. And this is amazing. You just have to sit and breathe. And the last thing, you'll take it back all the way closer to your ankles and sit. Now, if your ankles don't feel good, you don't have to do this. Just take the blanket off. But we'll take 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's it, you guys. Take the blanket off. Tap your feet out. Move them over to the front. Again, bounce the knees out. Shake out your ankles. Kind of just really let them go side to side, vigorously shaking everything out. Let that energy flow freely through your body. And then you're ready for the next, for the rest of your week and whatever else you have in store. Namaste.